Did you know that in high school years, there's a window your Sims can crawl through? I feel like most of us don't use it very often because Sims can be kind of picky about it. It's not that it's glitchy, the Sims just won't ever pick the window over the door if they've got both options. And I guess I get that. Like, I personally would also rather use a door than crawl out of a window if given the option. I will admit that I haven't really thought about this in a long time, but I built a high school recently and I put one of these windows so that the Sims could access the roof from one of the classrooms, and it kind of reminded me just how silly it is. So this is the window. It's the easy exit window, and this one can also function as an entry and exit for those looking for an alternate to a more traditional doorway. Now this window is a little bit different from any of the other ones because obviously these do not have animations tied to them, so it's quite specific. It has to be placed at a certain height because that's how the animation works. And it also has to be put in a walkable place. My game's frozen. Okay, cool. We're good, we're fine. So when I say walkable place, I mean it can't have anything blocking it. You might be able to make this work with move objects, but if I were you, I'd be a little bit careful about that just because I don't really trust it. The Sims are already kind of weird about it, so you want to be careful. Right now in this house, there is no other way to get inside, so they have to use the window. So if I tell Eliza to go in there, oh, Bob's doing it autonomously. They literally climb through. They don't have to be a teen. I think just teens and older can do it. And they can actually get in and out of the house that way. You can even lock it just like a door. Surely cats and dogs can't use this, right? Like there's no way. But testing this again gave me an idea. It kind of got me thinking, like what if we tried to build a house with no doors, only windows? Bathroom window, front window, the bedroom window. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm making this in Strangerville because it just feels right, but we're gonna try and build an entire functional house without placing a single door. I'm also gonna really try to make it cool. I know it's by default kind of weird, but I swear I'm gonna try to make it actually look good. I feel like as far as style goes, we should be allowed to use other windows if we want to. It's just that all of the doors have to also be windows. Any window is fair game. And I'm kind of feeling like I want it to look like a super normal house. We could maybe even go for this sort of Strangerville vibe. Oh, and this is interesting. Look, like when you can't place it, it sort of turns like a light red with an orange marking versus right here where it's green. If I place this right here, it tells me object gameplay can't function here. So you can use the same window everywhere if you want to. It just warns you like, hey, it's not gonna work because they can't get in and out from this side. I actually kind of like this as the front because it almost looks like there could be a front door on the side, but there's just not one. Like when you first look at this, you think, oh, maybe the door is right here. No, it's not. We also have some other color options. It comes in like pretty much every color that the base game windows do, but I don't think I'm gonna try and do anything fancy with that. I think just white is probably for the best for this one. I might use the new Love Struck fence. I kind of like how that one looks. No, that's ugly. I don't know what I'm doing. Sorry about this, everybody. I'm just trying to see if I wanted it to extend it all, but I don't know. In hindsight, it was probably a bad idea. This also isn't really giving Strangerville, but oh my god, that is not even close to being right. I kind of like the idea of doing a sort of fancy second section back here. Only problem is I don't think I should have a roof on that part if I'm gonna shape it like that. I think I'll put an actual roof on this part though. I like to think I'm relatively decent at building houses in The Sims, but then you start throwing Strangerville in the mix and it's like all bets are off. But this isn't so bad. This is a reasonable little shape. I think I'll scoot it forward just a bit too, so we have a little bit more backyard. Wait, am I allowed to have a fence gate? Or does a fence gate count as a door? I feel like we shouldn't be allowed to have a gate. I think they have to go back through the house if they want to get out of the backyard. I actually feel like gates shouldn't be allowed either. Oh, that's cute. I honestly kind of like that. I might redo the side windows too. I'm not really sure how they're gonna be until we actually do the house, but this seems okay for now. Okay, so they can come in the front door right here and then out the back door right here. And then we gotta figure out the floor plan. I think that we need to have at least a couple of bedrooms in here. I feel like this part is sort of a weird shape. I'm not super happy about how it's looking. Let me just put down some filler furniture real quick. I don't really intend to use this exact furniture, but it helps for me to lay it out like this. I think that part of what's throwing me here is just how big this little section is. I'm kind of wondering right now if we could maybe have it split up a bit more like this. I think I might want to have the door, oh, object can't intersect with stairs. Oh no, where does the back door go? Because I'm thinking right now that this should probably be the kitchen. So that obviously kind of throws close off our window door situation to the patio. Okay, so imagine if it was laid out kind of like this. And then we have, sorry, this is so dumb. And then we have these windows to get into the different rooms. Oh my God. This is actually kind of a nice layout, if not for the window situation. Like, it's actually kind of good. All right, so there's a bedroom there, and then we have a couple small bathrooms. This one will just have a toilet and a sink, and then this one can have a shower in it and stuff. So it's a 2-bed, 2-bathroom house, and then we have this nice big living area. That's honestly not that bad. It's weird, but it's actually not that bad. One thing that I didn't really properly consider when I first started building this was how weird it would be to have a window to access the bathroom. So I am a little bit concerned about that part. I think I might also want to get a sim here so I can test this. This feels like something that probably needs play testing, right? We can't just be putting windows and hoping for the best. All right, Eliza, let's go. She's climbing in. Can you get to the back door? Oh yeah, she can. Okay, that's so relieving. Okay, good. I'll just leave her out there because we can mess with that a little bit more later. I'm gonna start properly furnishing now. I also need to cheat for money because we deserve to have the best. I wonder if you can use curtains and if it still works. It looks like that should work. Oh, it does. Oh my gosh, that's actually huge. I think I'm gonna pick a kind of chaotic color scheme. I'd like to use a fun curtain. That's genuinely really good though. I think that makes a huge difference. Can you get through it now still? Oh, she can. Cause then we can kind of cover it up a little bit. I sort of feel like that might help. I don't know why I picked all that orange, but it's kind of fun. We can try to do that kind of orange color scheme in here. Orange does go quite well with Strangerville, I must say. What do you need? What do you need? My cat's a drama queen, I'm sorry. I do unfortunately fear that this might look really good together. Or we could try one that we don't use as often. Like, what if I tried to use this thing? I basically never pick Cool Kitchen. There's spa day counters too. I don't know if those are better. They're kind of modern. I don't really think this house has a modern vibe. I hate to say it, but Parenthood might actually be pretty good for this. I also think that we need to put columns because there's something about the corners that are kind of giving me the ick. We can at least put columns on the edges. You might not believe me, but those are the right color, those upper cabinets. It doesn't look like it, but they technically are in fact the right color. There's just weird lighting on the cabinets. It's always done this, but it's so annoying. I think I want to use some cheaper appliances. It's not that I want the house to be cheap, because it won't be. I'm just kind of thinking that it might be nice if we have it be reasonably affordable. I'm not usually very good at that, but I will try. This rug actually comes in orange and blue, and I hate to say it, but it is kind of good. It does actually work pretty well. See, I am gonna use an expensive TV. This is one of those things that I just really cannot bring myself to use the cheapest ones for. I hate it. I hate how the cheaper TVs look. I think we could probably get more windows, and that might be a nice touch. Oh, this could be pretty. Is that clipping? No. How far can you scoot it? Oh, too far. Why? Wait. Wait. This big one, 300. The little one, 1,500. Have you noticed that before? Am I just silly for not ever realizing that? I feel like that makes absolutely zero sense. It is now gonna be expensive and basically non-functional because of all of this stuff that we're putting in. I'm quite tempted to have a pet door. Also, something interesting to note is that toddlers can use the pet doors. These little tiny ones are only tall enough for infants to crawl through, and they have to know how to crawl. But the bigger ones are tall enough for toddlers to even walk through. And I'm not kidding. So if you put this here, a toddler can get in and out of the house. Obviously, if you wanted to have a toddler like get into their bedroom, you'd have to put a toddler door somehow. But I might put a dog door just in case you want to have a dog. I'm saying that as if anybody's gonna actually play here. I don't know why I always talk about my bills like this. I'm sat here like, yeah, you know, in case you want to have a dog, I'll make sure I put in a door for you. Who's gonna use that? I am not sure there's a single person watching this who's actually gonna have a dog that lives in this house. But hey, if you decide to play in it, you could always replace them with actual doors. It could be done. If you didn't like how we have it laid out, you could put real doors instead. I actually think that these chairs come in orange. Oh, they do. Oh, I'm going to use that. They're not quite the right color orange, but I think that's fine. Maybe we could get a little blue rug. That one has some Strangerville pattern to it. I hate to say it, but I do like that. I think that's cool. Ooh, does that look good? I kind of love that item. I never use that. Oh, that comes in orange too. Oh, I can't help it. I'm actually kind of obsessed. I know the color scheme is like really dramatic, okay? I realize that I've gone a little bit overboard. We need something tall here. I might even put a little desk because this sort of thing, it fits in this little area. And maybe we could do a blue chair. That's not quite the right color blue. Oh, that might work. Then we can get a little computer computer. Oh, I love this blanket basket to put next to the chair. I think that's so nice. I'm gonna try to alt place some of these little things. This isn't quite the right wood color because of course it doesn't match. It's The Sims 4, but that's okay. Oh, and we should also totally get a fire alarm. I think that we'll regret not having one. I might even put out here, like one of these little guys. I'm kind of wondering about getting some orange lights. I'm sorry, this is so bad of me, but like imagine if we had some little lights above. No, maybe not orange. We could do it in white. I do love a pendant light. Can I fix the light colors? I quite like the idea of a candle or something over here. I wonder if I can kind of alt place these myself, because that would be kind of cute. Oh yeah, that's so nice. And then over here, I'm picturing that there should be some sort of small table, like an entryway table. And then I kind of liked the idea of getting like one of the, I don't know, like cabinet type things from Seasons, or maybe even from Laundry Day. I was envisioning something like this. That's not really quite the right color, but you kind of get the picture. Oh wait, you know what we should do? Let's put a welcome mat in front of the front door. Why is that so funny to me? Okay, I'll put one out here too, just to really send home the fact that that is the front door. Yeah, I think we need some sort of art or something here. Maybe one of the base game ones, because these little fruit things might seem good. That actually might be the whole main living space done, because I'm kind of loving how that looks. Let me think about the bathrooms, because the bathrooms are going to be a little bit more difficult probably. At least not this tiny one. This one shouldn't be too much of a problem, because it will function fine. I feel like the windows sort of glitch out the lighting a little bit. I don't know if you've noticed that. That's a problem always with this game. When you have too many windows, it makes the lighting have some weird bugs, but it's like especially a problem in here. Eliza, do you want to come try this out real quick? Let me just make sure you can get in there. I'm sorry, poorly decorated. Poorly decorated. Oh, you should be ashamed of yourself. Eliza doesn't quite like the aesthetics of this place. Something about the wallpaper or floors just seems off. Yeah, that's what it is. It's the flooring. Nothing else is weird. Just the flooring is the problem. Okay, I think what I'll do is put the sink right in front of the window, because that way you're not gonna get looked at when you're using the bathroom. And then I'll put the toilet over here. I guess that's in front of the other windows, but I can cover those. Okay, so I was picturing that this room would be like a teenager's room, maybe. I could decorate it for a child, but I'm not 100% sure that children can use the windows. And also, it's from high school years, so it feels like we should decorate it for a teenager. I wonder if this bed could match these chaotic curtains in any way. Oh, wait, that's so much. That probably doesn't work. This one kind of works. Oh, maybe that's probably better. Let's do it with this bed, and then I shall pick a bunch of orange accents or yellow accents, or both. It could be both. I just kind of want to use the funky curtains. I don't really have any other reason. Oh, maybe I shouldn't do the funky curtains, because if I don't do that, I could do something way cooler. Like, what if I tried to use this rug 3 times? I like that because it kind of feels like I'm making a custom rug. A lot of this house is a joke, but I unironically really like this little bedroom. Like, I think this is kind of a cool combo. I'm gonna give them a desk in the corner, subtle orange accent with the desk maybe. I'm also gonna get a mirror. I've used every single pack. Like, it's so bad. The amount of pack content that has been used in this house so far today, shameful. And for what reason? Who benefits from this? Oh, maybe it would be better if I had a smaller mirror. I actually really love this one. I just don't know if that fits okay. I feel like it does still. Oh, it's actually really cute. Okay, so we have that teens room. I'm just gonna check real quick that Eliza can get in there. Oh yeah, she's fine. Okay, good. So we have the teens room, and then last we just have the primary bedroom. And then of course the entire outside, but the outside's not gonna be as much of a concern. We at least know the outside works already. The inside's a bigger deal because we're not sure if it's gonna be functional until we test it. Kind of obsessed with this mint color accent in here. Ooh, and there's that kind of nice like reddish curtain color. I kind of like that. I like how it matches the blanket too. This is definitely really different from like my usual style and my personal style when it comes to this game, but I think that's fun to do. I do want to get a dresser. Kind of worried about spacing. I'd love if this one could work, but we have to be careful about how far we put it. And maybe this is where I can use that Jungle Adventure mirror, because I really do like that mirror, but it felt like it was maybe a little bit too big for the other room. In this room, it kind of fits a bit more. Oh, let's do like an ottoman or something underneath, that's spelled wrong, underneath the window. We do have the new one from Lovestruck, although that might be a little bit wide. Why do you not come in orange? This is fine. Let me come see if she can get in here. Oh yeah, not even remotely a problem. She's totally fine. Oh yay, Eliza, I'm so excited. I think the whole interior is done. I'm gonna try and think about the exterior a bit more because we haven't really touched on that at all. What color are roofs? So some of the people nearby have like little shingle roofs. I'm kind of curious about doing a green. There's also like this sort of cute orangey color. I wonder if we did that one, but then had a white wall. Because that's actually kind of similar to the inside. We have a lot of white everywhere, or at least on the wallpaper it's a lot of white, but then we have a lot of orange and blue accents elsewhere. I think we could probably make that work. I do have a chimney and no fireplace, but that's okay. Sometimes it just has to be done. I think I'm gonna try to get some slightly darker accent colors, like some black lights. I'm also gonna save, because I haven't done that yet. And that would be really bad. I will get a darker wood color for the deck. And then for the landscaping, I don't think I really want to do like classic Strangerville type landscaping. I might just do more classic Simsie type landscaping with this one. Oh my, this is a mess. Put that back. I wonder if any of the flower boxes come in orange or yellow. Oh, you know what? Those yellow flower boxes could be so cute. Oh, I just love that. I think the black is not working. Maybe it could come in that sort of gold color, because that does exist and it matches. I'm wondering about mixing in some orange and yellow flowers just sort of around. If we did a variety, I think that would help because it sort of blends everything together a bit more. This looks terrible. Don't use that one there. We could probably put this like size down though. I think the outside's kind of boring. Like the more I look at it, the more I'm like, I don't know if this is even good. I'll try and fill it in with some extra trees and stuff, which might help us, but still I'm like kind of unsure. I wonder if a little swing set might work, because that comes in orange. Maybe these lights can't be gold. Maybe that's the problem. The lights are weird. I think the other problem that I'm having is I keep looking at it and just thinking like, oh, something feels wrong about this. But of course something feels wrong. There's no front door. So the front just looks kind of off to me, but nothing can really be done about that because there is something off about the front. I'm trying to decide what exactly I want to do with the back, because at first I wanted to have a pool, but I'm actually not sure if that's a good idea, especially because it's kind of small back here. There could maybe be a hot tub. I'm really sat here talking all about, oh, it needs to be at least kind of cheap, and then I go and put a 3,000 simoleon hot tub. It's okay. It looks good at least, right? I think I'll probably get some planter boxes back there, and then we could maybe just do a tiny bit of extra landscaping in the corner. Okay, that actually doesn't seem so bad to me. Let me put some terrain paint down now, because that'll help blend it all in. I do actually really like the terrain paint that's just here by default. I think it looks pretty cool. It helps with the sort of deserty energy that we're going for. Oh, there's a cat back. You probably see the little tail again. She's been back and forth like in and out of the video all day. Oh, I also need a trash can. Okay, let's get that real quick too. We'll want to have an outdoor trash can. Maybe I'll just stick it like in the corner so it's kind of out of the way. And maybe that's the fully finished house. It is an all window, no door, 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, little tiny house. This is up there with one of the weirder things I've done. I don't know if anybody's actually gonna get any use out of this, but it was definitely fun to try it. I really enjoyed building this one. I'm gonna stick it on the gallery and I'm gonna call it House with No Doors. And it is officially up for you. I guess there is one door. There's the one dog door. I just put that there though because I was worried that if you had a toddler, they wouldn't be able to get in and out. So this way, at least if you have a dog, if you have a toddler, they can use it. The adults can't use it, and that's all that matters. It is technically no real doors. I do actually really like the layout of the house. I think the color scheme's kind of chaotic, but maybe in a fun way. And if you wanted to play here, it's not hard to replace these with doors. You can just put a door where the windows are, and that's fine. And that way it maybe would look a little bit nicer. Like if there was a real front door, let me just check that real quick. Imagine like this growing together front door. That makes a massive difference. It looks so much more normal like that. But instead we have this thing. Okay, I think on that note though, I am gonna end this video right here. Thank you so much for watching. Let's just watch Eliza climb through here a couple more times because I kind of like it. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you like Sims builds, I do a lot of them here on my YouTube channel. They aren't always as chaotic as this, but they're usually pretty chaotic. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss the next one, and I'm gonna catch you all tomorrow. Okay, bye everybody. A little pro tip for you, if you're trying to use this window, honestly, you might have to lock the doors in the house to try and force the Sims to do it, because they do try to use the doors instead of the window if they have a door.